we're going to look at the parts of a yeast cell. Unlike you and me, who are made up of many cells, a yeast cell is just one cell, and it belongs in the family fungi. The first part we're going to look at is this outside part of the cell. This is called the cell wall, and it's the cell wall's job to help protect the yeast cell, just like bark on a tree. The next part we're going to look at is the cell membrane. This membrane is like a skin underneath the cell wall, and it's the job of the cell membrane to control what goes into the yeast cell and what comes out of the yeast cell. This large round thing is the nucleus. This is a very important part of the cell. Inside the nucleus is the DNA. The DNA is the instruction manual for the entire cell. It holds all the information for everything that the cell needs to make. This stuff here is the cytoplasm. Inside the cell, there's not all empty space. There's actually a kind of liquid jelly kind of stuff called cytoplasm. And inside that cytoplasm, the nucleus and all the other parts of the cell can move around inside the cell. This little yellow fellow is called a mitochondrion. Each cell has lots of these mitochondria, and they have a very important job. Their job is to release energy to the cell so that the cell can do all the work it needs to do. The mitochondrions are the little factories that help release that energy to the cells. All these little dots everywhere are called ribosomes. They're very important in the cell because they are the factories where things for the cell are made. Using the energy that the mitochondria release inside the cell and the instruction manual that is contained in the nucleus, these ribosomes make all the things required for the yeast cell. These are just some of the things that you will find inside a yeast cell. There are actually quite a few other things in yeast cells that do all sorts of different special jobs, but for today we're just going to look at these few things. Now, did you know that the yeast cell has a nucleus, a cell membrane, mitochondrion and ribosomes? All these are also present inside the cells of your body. Let's have a quick look at those parts of the yeast cell again. There is the cell wall that helps protect the yeast cell. There is the cell membrane that controls what goes into and out of the yeast cell. There is the nucleus that contains the DNA, the instruction manual for the cell. There is the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like substance that all the insides of the cell move around in. There are mitochondria to help release chemical energy for the cell to use for growth and development. And there are lots of ribosomes that are the little factories that use the information from the nucleus to make all the little bits and pieces that the cell needs.
Prebiotics feed the good bacteria. They're actually a type of carbohydrate that helps soften stools. The prebiotics in breast milk feed the beneficial bacteria throughout the large intestine. But if you're formula feeding and want a similar effect, you can give your baby a prebiotics blend designed to reach the entire area. One type designed to feed bacteria in the beginning of the large intestine, and another designed to work throughout. So together, they feed it all.
By its carotenoids, natural pigments that possess strong antioxidant properties. Carotenoids do more than just provide color, however. They are also powerful phytonutrient antioxidants that are capable of quenching an impressive amount of oxidation. These highly unsaturated, lipid-soluble organic compounds occur naturally in plants, as well as in some algae, fungus, and bacteria strains. And despite thousands of years of consumption, only recently have we truly begun to understand the diverse role that they play in human health. From cardiovascular and immune system support to healthy vision and respiratory function, carotenoids are teeming with compounds that have been shown to positively affect the quality of life. To date, over 700 different carotenoids have been officially identified, although only a handful have been shown to possess beneficial health effects. 4 of the most popular and well-recognized carotenoids are beta-carotene, lutein, lycopene, and astaxanthin. They have been the subject of intense research and are now widely regarded as staples of good health.